How many?
All right. And welcome back.
I'm
Live Fire
so
Media. Episode number 4, man. I don't know what that was supposed to be. You're holding your hands up on the screen. Oh, now you're showing me what you're drinking or something?
No, this is.
Oh, for 4, episode 4. All right,
this
while
movie.
we're recording this, let me see if I can get this Rumble one to go.
Oh,
right
I got a
away.
rumble in the jungle right now. I'm so excited to be here today.
Oh, there's more process than I'm going to deal with the Rumble thing. So I'll revisit that later and do some tests bullshit or something.
Okay.
So to hell with it.
Poof.
Here's our show. We are back. I'm Kawaka 47 or High Point Dave. You're Hunter Elliott, Range
Hunter
Hot.
Elliott with Range Hot. I missed y'all so bad. Oh, nice plug, High Point. Got your High Point cup there. I'm sure they're probably getting a check for that.
Oh, dude, I use this all the damn time. I always drink my High Point cup.
I'm sure you're getting a check for that.
Yeah, right. Don't I wish?
What is that called? Product placement?
Dude, this has nothing to do with High Point. You know that shit, so shut the hell up. I literally use this cup all the time. Now, I will say, when I'm out in public especially, I do tend to turn it intentionally, so when I drink it, it's like this so you see it.
To offend people?
Or whatever. Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Fuck them.
You know, push them, get them going. But, yeah, so obviously we didn't do anything last week because I was sick as shit, more or less.
You picked up something from the Great American.
I don't think I picked anything up. I think it was just winding me down between going from SHOT Show to home for inside of just a week and then going out to the Great American Outdoor Show. It was just enough. It just beat me down. I think that's all it is.
Little Sugar Cat wants to be a part of it.
Cats are fine. My dog usually, when I do other podcasts, he usually climbs up my lap halftime at some point.
She's looking for some. I don't know what she's looking for.
But you've never been to GOS, have you? To that show?
I haven't. Is it worth? Do you think it'd be? I mean, you think it'd be worth me going?
Man, I don't know. Like, here's the thing. It is like literally a mini NRA show because it's owned by the NRA.
Okay.
And it is a huge outdoor show. So, like, you want to buy a boat, like bass boats, they got bass boats. I mean, it's boat city. But then also you want to buy a hunt to go like to Africa, you can do that while you're at the show.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really big building. What they say it was like. Stats was like 20 acres of outdoor stuff, something like that. But the gun hall, where obviously I ended up working with in the High Point booth, it's pretty small, and there's a handful of manufacturers in there. There's a lot of stuff being sold there. I mean, from jewelry to beef jerky to accessory companies selling some handguards and crap. It's pretty small. But the volume of people that come through that show, because the show runs for like 9 days.
Right. I've heard it was lengthy.
It used to be like 11 before. But it's crazy long. It's in Harrisburg, PA in the wintertime, which I'll be honest, like we usually rent Airbnbs when we're out there. The house this year was pretty cool. Sat right on the river, looking out across the city. So most nights I had a cool like view of downtown Harrisburg. One night it was so foggy and snowy you couldn't see anything. So, I mean, kind of a cool spot. I've been enough times that there's plenty of really good places to eat. I do mean like legitimately good. It's just you're there in the wintertime.
Right.
You know, that's the part you're just kind of like, okay, so I'm going to be inside, never see the sunlight because you're in the morning, you're out in the evening, you know, kind of like SHOT Show in that sense, you know, then going to get something to eat. But when you're there doing that show, seeing the public, educating them yet again, mostly on the High Point side of things, that's worth it, man. So it's cool. People like are they're new and shocked to it.
Oh hell! This is the Rocco. Say hey Rocco. He's a big cat. He was one of those fosters that Candy and I did. We never could find a home for him, so
you guys yours now. Yeah. It's probably why you shouldn't foster too many because you're going to keep all of them.
Well, we were fortunate. We fostered 8, and were able to find homes for 6 of them.
Oh, that ain't bad odds.
So you know, there were 2 cats left over that you know we struggled to find homes for, and like one lady called. She's like, "I'll take one of them, whichever one. It doesn't matter." And she had never seen them or nothing. And I'm like, "That's a little weird." I'm like, "Don't you want to come to the house, see the animals? I want to meet you." No, no,
Right.
I'll just meet you somewhere and pick it up. I was like, "No, we're not doing that."
Yeah.
You know,
That's a
there's
little
people,
weird.
man. Not to bring this down, but there's people that get free animals and sell them
Oh, for sure.
to like I think they get $10 for a dog and $5 for a cat, and they'll do like studies on
Right.
them some bitches. I tell you what, anybody that does that ought to have it done to them.
Yeah, right.
But I'm not going to get off on that. Wow, that was crazy.
Do
So,
you do you hear like a feedback buzz noise?
no,
Okay, that's weird. I hear one that's not real sure what it's all about, but hopefully it's not too annoying and will be something we got to sort out later on. But whatever.
okay, yeah, I don't hear. I don't hear nothing.
But
So
no,
we got,
but GOS though, I don't know if like I could tell you like GOS is like worth your time to go to. I mean, because like my buddy Tony Simon, he's a SHOT Show. He comes to GOS. We hang out for a couple days while he's there, but he goes and either revisits people or if there's somebody he missed, he tries to catch them if they're there at GOS.
right.
You know, and he gets a lot of still some work done.
Can you film and all there?
Oh yeah. No, he usually does usually film stuff. Because I think he went and saw Diamondback and was going to do a thing with their new 3-inch revolver. Something with Henry. I don't remember. There's a couple other ones that were there, but yeah, you know, it's literally a mini NRA show in that sense.
What kind of credentials do you need to get in if you're?
Dude, I'm there working as a vendor. You know, I have no idea. I mean, but Tony gets a press badge, you know, for his diversity shoot,
Right.
and the second's for everyone. So I mean, you know, probably wouldn't be that difficult. I would think. No harder than the NRA show probably.
I mean, somebody as famous as me.
Oh, you're a shoo-in, man. You're totally gonna get it right away.
No wonder I don't get one in the mail in hopes I'll show up.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. No, it is a neat show. If anybody's locals in the area, it's worth going to. But hell, anybody's local, they already go to that show. I mean, I think people like call off work and skip school left and right to go to that show because you'd be amazed at doors open like 10 a.m. during the week. So you'd be amazed how many people show up at 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, and it's like, don't you guys have a job? I mean,
Right.
I'm working, but it's like. This like I can think like as a kid going on boat shows with my dad. You went on Saturday and Sunday because they were only on Saturday and Sunday because that was like the arena place was open Saturday and Sunday. But this thing, and no, it's all week long.
Wow.
I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, I'd probably dig it more if it wasn't in the dead of winter, you know. But then that gets really crowded with like NRA shows and other shows like GunCon and stuff like that. So I don't know.
We'll
But
try to make GunCon this year if I can get the invite.
Well, I just actually saw on Instagram before you hopped on that John's making an announcement about it. It is happening. And he's making an announcement. I think he said either tomorrow or next week.
We can make the announcement.
Well, he was looking at moving the venue, and he was having problems with a couple different municipalities. Like he could get range is fine, and they're renting a space to have the show. Places were being weird about it. You know, it's like, dude, we're just a gun trade show. It's not a gun show. You're not buying guns here. So
Right.
I think he had a lot of hard time people answering back on shit like that. So it is officially happening for 25. So I'll keep you posted
Please do.
what I find out.
Please do. So we got some snow today out here in North Carolina. Probably wind up getting, I'm going to guess, 2 to 3 inches.
That's not the show see down for you guys.
Well, I mean, it wasn't bad. Everybody was getting along fine, and then of course, it started snowing about 9 o'clock this morning, and it's still. When I walked outside a little bit ago to check my well, it's still snowing, but then the last hour or so is ice.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think that one time I came to your place, it was all iced over.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So
You guys were gonna come meet me for dinner the one night, and then it iced over the city. And I took a photo of a ATV rolling down the street of Raleigh, and there's a guy in a T-Rex like the blow up air costume,
yeah.
like skiing through the city street. I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'd do it.
So I took the opportunity to. Here, I'll show everybody. So my old Marlin Trapper, little 357 lever gun. You know how I love my lever guns.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The Liberty suppressors, they're Centurion, little short, stubby can. And went outside today in the snow, and and I went out in just blue jeans and t-shirt, and spent probably an hour and a half, shot, I don't know, around 100 rounds. Just in the snow. It's
right.
It's cold. We had a good winter, and it was
it's cold.
It was probably it was 19.
It was like what was temperature?
19.
Yeah, it's like 16 here. So okay, it's cold.
So it's good.
19's cold. Yeah, that's cold.
It's been 19 all day.
Okay, no, that's cold. I thought you were gonna say it was like 30. I'm like, dude, please, like.
I know.
No, all right, it's cold then. You got a cold.
Yeah, it was 19. Well, when I went outside, it was like 19, and I was out there for. It doesn't matter.
Long enough that you were cold and it was uncomfortable.
But yeah, but that's the thing. Like I'm trying to. I noticed like.
Gun con.
Oh, look at you, gun sight. I noticed like I did it like I did a bunch of shooting. I was playing with steel. It was snowing heavy. It was cold, and I was just trying to. I took this opportunity to make. I hate to use the word train, but in adverse conditions,
sure,
practice a lever gun.
Sure.
Visibility was not great. I mean, I was 30 yards away from the target, maybe 20, 25 yards away from the target, and it was a lot of white stuff in the air, and it was cold, and so I after about maybe 30, 45 minutes, I started losing my dexterity, and so I told Candy came up, and I'm like, let's do a short. And so, I wanted to do something cute, so I held my rifle. I'm like, snow day, with Marlin.
Right.
Then she cut to, I had a handful of 38 specials, and I shook. And then I'm like, I'm going to load them. And I'm like, I'm trying to, and at this point, my fingers are numb because I've been outside maybe an hour.
Yeah.
And they were really numb. And so I'm trying to load this lever action. And I can't feel my fingers, and the damn loading gate, when it pinches you. Normally it ain't bad, but when your fingers are that cold, it's like a snake bite.
Now think of it like this: I wish I'd done you doing this. Now, Hunter, as you're doing that, when your fingers are that cold, now close your eyes, and you'll know what it was like when I did it with night vision on at Moons Out last year with my lever action.
Yeah,
your dexterity is like gone because it's 20 degrees. Sometimes I had gloves on, which would snag in the loading gate. Other times I would no gloves on, and I couldn't feel anything. So I had to use a pinky that was still had feeling in it, find the loading gate, then come down and get the round in, and do it all over again. I mean, no, I get it. When it's cold, it's a bitch with a lever action like that.
And I had all the rounds in one hand.
Oh yeah.
So but I learned a lot. I learned it, after about an hour in a short sleeve shirt. My dexterity really goes to hell at 19 degrees. But I was able to do pretty well on the steel, still run the lever and all, but the reloads were tricky after a while.
Right.
But, my point is, or I don't know if I really got a point, how this goes.
Yeah, right.
When people, and if I'm using this word wrong, tell me. Train. When people train, when you go to school, train.
Yeah.
It's great, but I feel like anytime you can get out and shoot in adverse conditions, cold, snowing. Now we don't get a lot of snow here, but a lot of times if it's raining like hell, I'll take my pistol and go out there and shoot at least a mag through it.
No, that's training. I mean. Is it formal training? Is it class training? Who gives a shit? It is training. If you're doing it in a non-normal fashion to what you normally do for range time, no, that's totally training.
Right.
Why wouldn't it be,
I agree. So, for the people that listening, for all y'all 4.
6 maybe.
Right. It's, instead of just standing on a square range when it's 65 and sunny, and you get the opportunity to go shooting when it's raining, we said in the Marine Corps, if it ain't raining, you ain't training.
Yeah, I've heard that phrase more than a few times.
Oh, I have no doubt. But I feel like that when you step outside your comfort zone and you work the gun, you're going to gain more proficiency than just square ranging it.
Right, right, absolutely. I
And
mean, I'll say I can take it to a point where like I've not gone out and shot either A because of traveling, B I was sick, or it gets to a point where it's just too damn cold and it's just not going to be fun. And I have an hour drive to my range. I'm not driving an hour one way, freeze
oh,
my ass off and shoot an
so
hour
I'm
back. You know
fortunate.
what I mean?
I got a 30-yard range in my front yard.
Right.
So I walked outside, did my thing, and then came back in. And
Yeah.
Candy made hamburgers, and we took it. So it won't.
that's
If
the
it
way
was
to
an
go.
hour away, if I had to drive to the range,
Yeah,
that might be tough.
that's kind of where I've been at with that, and haven't hit out in a while because of that. It's like below 20 degrees. That's tough to actually have an enjoyable time.
Hey,
Going to bed?
Daddy.
My baby girl. So
Aw.
say hi, Hunter. Bye, Hunter.
Wow, her hair is red.
Oh, it's fire red. Come back this way a little bit more. There you go.
I'm 6. I'm
She
6.
gonna be. Look how cute she is.
How old are you?
6.
There you go. You're 6.
Wow, bless her heart. She's cute, Dave. How'd you make
Right.
a cute baby?
Oh, come on, look at this.
You're kind of a
What are you
mongoloid.
talking? No, look at this. Look at this. What are you talking about?
That is
This looks
actually.
fantastic.
Is your FedEx man hot?
Yeah, it's funny. You're talking about like the cold weather and shooting. So I try to get out every Valentine's Day is my dad's birthday, and since he passed away, I try and get out every year and shoot his M1 Garand. And this
Pronounced
year,
it correctly. Thank you.
you know what? I really don't care. I'll use them both interchangeably, but I know if I said Garand, you'd be like, so,
Yeah, I know.
I didn't want to go there.
I'm such a
but-
fud.
But this year it turned out like Valentine's Day was Friday. My daughter had gymnastics. By the time that was all done, it was too dark out, and I was going to go to my in-laws and shoot because it's only like a half hour one way. And it was like, we're not going to bother with it. Saturday it rained all day. Sunday got snowy and shitty, and I was like, okay, you know what? I was like, we'll get out when it's convenient to us to go shoot this thing. You know, hopefully still snow on the ground. I mean, if it's 20 degrees out now, they'll still be there, but get some cool snow footage. But when I talked to you last Wednesday, it was kind of funny because I just gotten this M1 back from my gunsmith, who also my Cerakote guy. Cerakoted it all up. So this is a Springfield, I think it's a 1944 M1.
Fine looking rifle.
And because I have two of them, I bought them both at CMP, one for me, one for my dad. I decided to have my dad's all Cerakote, all the metal, all black. Because, you know, I don't care. It's mine. I don't give a shit. And I want to turn it into a wall hanger. Yeah, it's going to be protected, and it's going to look really good. But then what I discovered was I could see when I locked the bolt back that the bolt wasn't going back all the way, and the magazine looked odd. I'm like, I haven't looked at the gun in a while. It's been a while. So what I'm doing, pulling the other one out, and sure enough, yeah, the magazine fall, as we talked, was backwards. And I was like, how the hell do I get this thing out? Now,
tricky.
Not really. It's kind of one of those. I'd never torn one of these down apart before. Never have. But difference is working with Inland, doing the M1 carbines. It gave me some vague familiarization of how this thing comes apart. So I was like, okay. I mean, you know, the trigger group, pull that out, then the whole action comes out, and from there, it was similar enough to the M1 carbine. I was like, okay, but I still got to the point where I had that magazine follower would slide up and down. I was like, how the hell do I get this thing out of here? Finally found one other teardown guide. One teeny tiny simple little pin, only goes in one way, comes out one. That comes out, everything else literally can fall apart. And that magazine, just bring it out either the top or bottom, flip it around, put it all back together.
Oh, so it won't too bad.
No, it was easy. And, you know, if you end up watching this, you can see it is sitting, of course, in focus right back here. It's sitting exactly as it should. And I threw a clip in to load it up, and with
Would
a
that be
Cerakote,
an on-block clip?
an end block clip.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Well, I've always heard it called on-block.
Oh, I just literally say it's okay to say clip because it's not a spring-loaded device. It's just a.
It is a clip. I
is
know.
a clip.
I'm just jerking your chain again.
Dick.
What?
But no, so the nice thing is, being that it's Cerakoted, the clips going really easy in this thing, and like Cerakote. I remember I've seen a lot of ads at SHOT Show where they talk about using Cerakote like internally in your guns that actually works as a lube. I know some Cerakote guys are like, don't rock with that, but I'll tell you what, it worked in this thing, shoving the full loaded clip in. It worked, and it was like buttered smooth.
You know what?
I still get sprayed oil in this thing, so.
I'll tell you what Andrew Barnes of Barnes Precision told me about. He all his rifles he does nickel boron.
Oh, that definitely is like self-lubricating cool stuff.
Didn't I send you a bolt carrier group years ago?
Yeah. I put it in my 300 blackout until I quit shooting blackout, and I put it in something else.
So that's all nickel boron coated.
Nope, not that one.
So
it's around somewhere in one of them.
but I did something today that I don't normally do.
What's that?
I cleaned one of my silencers.
Was it 22?
No. So I'm gonna do a product plug here, and I'm not sponsored by these cats.
No, we ain't sponsored by nothing on this thing.
That's right. But this long-winded. So Liberty Suppressor Centurion. This is a pistol silencer, but I took the Nielsen device off, and they sent me a 1/2x28 fixed barrel adapter.
Right.
So the way this comes apart is this is a user serviceable monocore. So the fixed barrel adapter threads off. You've got this little locking ring. It don't normally come off that easy. So, because old Hunter don't clean his silencers none.
No, I go by the whole self-cleaning ideology.
And then the baffle pulls out.
Right.
So, and it's got like I don't know if y'all can see this, but it's got little castle indexing where it'll index to the can. However, after a great deal of beating with a rubber hammer and a wooden dowel, I could get it about this far out.
Oh.
And I mean, I stuck a stick in here. I couldn't even get it to rotate. So I'm like, holy shit. Of course, now it's been a long time since I've cleaned this can. And I do shoot rimfire through it, though I know you're not supposed to. I shoot rimfire.
Yeah.
I shoot everything through this. This beat all to hell. But I couldn't get it to do any more than that, even with a dowel rod and a rubber mallet, and I'm smacking the shit out of it, and it ain't budging. Now I'm in the kitchen doing this, and Candy's like, "Hey, I need to cook hamburgers, and you can't be in here with that nasty shit while I'm cooking." So she's like, "Either hurry up or do this later." And you know me, when I get started on something, I really want to do it. And I'm like, if I don't clean this thing now, I won't ever do it. So I bought this stuff for work, man. It's super slick stuff.
Super slick, not kidding. Super slick stuff. That's the name of it.
And it says this stuff lubricates better than anything.
Oh, I don't.
It says all over the can. So I was somewhere at low, and this can was like $15. Like a can of WD-40, which I know it ain't great, but a can of WD-40 was like $6. This was like $15. This was more expensive than Deep Creep. However, so I'm like, I'm gonna put this shit to the test, and I kid you not, Dave, I sprayed it around the inside and I sprayed it down in there, and I took my rubber mallet and I kind of beat it back and forth,
right,
my inch worth, and about the third time I hit it down, I just grabbed it. And so much come out like that right there. And now when I did that, I mean it was black, liquid, nasty come out of it. It looked like a shot glass full of damn crude oil come out of it. But I'm gonna tell you what, man. That's super, and it doesn't stink. It kind of
Odorless, more or less.
smells like citrus. It's got a citrus
Okay.
smell. But if there's somebody out there having trouble getting their can apart, I'm gonna tell you what, that stuff right there works. It works so good
Super
for me.
slick stuff.
I'm gonna do a YouTube video on it for Range Hot.
And how much was that stuff again?
It was like $15-$18 for this can. It's about half full, and I mean now
So say $20. So $20 for the can.
probably less than, even with tax, less than $20.
That's not bad.
But I've used it around the house for stuff, and I've used it at work. You know, like I've used it for stuff, and everything I've used it for so far, I've been like, hey, this stuff works pretty decent.
Right.
You know, like, the other day I had to change my stump grinder teeth, and they were caked up and gunked up, full of damn wood shavings and all. And I hit the studs with this stuff, and I got my little impact, and it zipped. I mean, I was like, oh, this stuff works pretty good.
Yeah.
But it hadn't shown me that it worked any better than like Deep Creep, which is where my go-to's been.
Okay.
But this kicks Deep Creep's ass. So
Great. Mike muted me again. So, I went to the East Coast night shoot. What was it? Early October.
Yeah.
And one of the things we got when we pulled up in was Breakthrough Clean Technologies suppressor cleaning kit. And I'm not going to grab it now because it's out in the garage. But my buddy and I both, Ryan, we both get one. And he goes, oh, I've got one of these. I'm like, what the hell is this, man? He goes, it's a suppressor cleaning kit. I'm like, but is it like worth a shit? He goes, I don't know. Never used it, but I had this exact same kit.
a suppressor cleaning kit?
Yeah. Breakthrough Clean Technologies. I think I can dump a link into here, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how I'm using this thing. Where's our chat? Maybe private chat. Private chat. There we go. There you go. I sent you a link in our private chat. But so I've not used it. My buddy's used his because he has two kits of it. You get a little tray that holds this empty tube. You can put your can in, and you get a bottle of solution. You pour the solution in, set your can down into it, and it's got like two brushes and like looks like a carbon scraper pick. It's like a $60 kit. And he's ended up using it on both 22 cans, obviously, because those get foul and nasty. We used it on some center fire cans. And he said, yeah, man. He goes, you know, the liquid's clear. He goes, you run that can through there. And he goes, and the shit turns black. He goes, it absolutely cleans them out.
Oop.
I know he did use a couple center fire cans that the baffles would come out to some degree. And he said, yeah, it significantly cleaned the baffles out, you know. So apparently this breakthrough kit is pretty good stuff, but like I said, mine's sitting in the garage because I haven't shot suppressed in a while. So,
you know, that would be a good review for RangeHot.com, Dave.
Yeah, probably would.
Now, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you, so I've got a bunch of non-user serviceable cans, and I'll tell you what I've done, and you tell me if this is good or not.
Oh, how the hell would I know, man?
You're smarter than I am.
Shit, you give me too much credit.
I went to Northern Tool, and I bought a industrial sonic cleaner.
Yeah.
And within it, it has a heating element.
Okay.
And it'll actually heat the water to like 150 degrees. So I'll get, and I mean, it'll hold a, I don't know, it's a pretty good size. Is that a shotgun can?
No, it's my Osprey K 45K, but I can't service it. It's, you know, so it's something I could definitely use this solution to soak it in. Same with my Saker. You know, I can't take anything out.
Right.
Back up. But yeah, I'll give him a shot because I mean I've shot this thing, piss out of this thing.
Well, I took, like, I had one of my older B&Ts that was nasty, and so I put like 3 or 4 cups of water in the microwave until it was boiling.
Right.
and I poured it in the Sonic cleaner, and I bought it looks like almost like rock salt.
Okay.
It's a Sonic cleaner for highly carbonated parts.
Yeah, yeah.
And it looks like rock salt. And so, you put like an ounce of that in there, and then I put probably 2 or 3 ounces of hoppies,
Right.
and set the timer for like 15 minutes. And it'll like I put the water in at 200 some degrees, but it'll heat it. It'll keep it at 150.
Right.
And I'll let that run for 15 minutes, man. And then literally, you got to pick it up with tongs. When you pick it up, it's just black, like mud rolls out of it.
Yeah, that's nasty.
I'm assuming it's doing something.
Right. I feel like that's, I don't say old school, but I've heard people talk about that before, of using like Sonic cleaners. People say, "Oh, just go to Harbor Freight, get their cheap, small basket Sonic cleaner."
Yeah, I bought one from Northern Tool, and it was like their industrials, because I got some big cans from a 4570.
Right.
So the opening is probably a little bit smaller than a shoebox.
Right.
I mean, it would hold a pistol. It would hold like if you
Oh, that's pretty good size.
if you detail stripped a 1911, it would hold everything.
Slide size.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
I guess I need to try this breakthrough stuff.
yeah, I opened it. I opened it up in another tab. Oh.
Yeah, it's a whole kit. Like I said, $70 or $60.
But I
And
feel
you
like
get
you
refill
could make
bottles.
that.
Like the tray. Sure, you totally 3D print the tray. The bottle, you could probably find another bottle of similar size to like put your can down in. I mean, you could source all the stuff. Obviously, you're paying for the convenience of
Right.
it's breakthrough branded, But then the solution is the real catch, because it looks like a big bottle is $95, and a smaller 32-ounce bottle is $40.
When
I can't understand. I'm very up on like what exactly you want to use on a cannon with baffles that are in them.
I was at the
I don't know.
OSF booth, or Huxworks now,
Mhm.
they have a Huxworks branded solution that supposedly, he said, yes, you can use hoppies. He said, but this is more effective. How true that is, I don't know.
Well, I say, I can tell you years ago, we're going to distribute a show at WL Balmer.
Okay.
It's an Northern Ohio show, or was. They got bought out by Brownells, I think. But anyways, the 1 year across from them was Shooter's Choice, oil and lubrication and cleaning products.
Yeah.
Okay, you know them? I had no idea at the time they were an Ohio-based company. And so I'm talking to the guy across from me. I think he was one of the original owners. Bullshitting with him. Another buddy comes up who knows both of us, and he goes, "Hey Dave, you know why there's so many fucking cleaning solution companies here?" And I was like, "No." He goes, "Because in the end they're all the same and they all work." I was like, "Damn, that's kind of like true, but probably harsh."
Right.
I will say, am I a little partial to Shooter's Choice? Yeah, I've got a bunch of little vials, and I've actually bought their stuff. I think it is really good. But at the same time, the chemical composition of that stuff, there's only so many variants out there. Like,
That would work.
yeah, so it's like, sure, it all works. I'm not knocking anybody. So if somebody else has another suppressor cleaning solution, I'm sure it works too. It's just a matter of whose brand do you like and whose price do you like, and just roll with it. Yeah, so it looks like Huxworks kit is like as a $75 kit. So it's, and then a refill kit's $81, but it looks a little different. But interesting. We're looking at, because I feel like I've first gotten the cans, people said, "Oh, they're self-cleaning, just keep shooting it. When you're ready to clean it, just shoot it again." I'm like, unless it was 22, obviously it's gonna get super fouled up. But I mean, I can look at this can, my 5.56 can, it's pretty foul.
Liberty, if memory serves me, Liberty says when you get your can brand new, weigh it. Weigh it. And then when it'll decrease its weight, and I'm going to get this wrong, So anybody hears this and says, "Oh, Liberty don't know what they're talking about," I'm going to get it wrong. But it was something like when it's increased its weight by 50% or 40%, something like that. Then it's time to clean it.
Right.
Or
That's an interesting thought because I could believe something like that. I mean,
but now out here it may be 20%, it may be 10%. I don't.
Well, yeah, percentage. Yeah, we're not quoting anybody's.
Yeah, I don't
want
want
that shit here, but
you don't know what the hell they're talking about. You know, I'm like, it's me getting a number wrong. But I remember he's
right.
like, weigh it when it's new, and then every 500 rounds weigh it.
Right.
And you've seen a significant increase in weight. Of course, now these are steel. These are all stainless steel, and so they're heavy to begin with.
Yeah, so my Canyon is Inconel, so it's heavier than shit too.
I've got two of the. Do you remember the old school AAC SR5 and SR7?
Yeah,
they made that whole can was Inconel. It was like 4 or 5 pounds.
Oh, good God!
But it would. I mean, I'm serious.
Yeah, I think this thing's like 18 ounces. I think this Saker 762.
I got to look it up now.
What is that? You don't hear that feedback noise? What the hell?
I mean, my heat's running in my house.
I don't think it's that. Oh, I don't know. That's weird as shit. Is it me? When I start talking, it starts cutting out. Oh shit! Is it really on my end? Son of a bitch. Let me try something here real quick, because that's really annoying. I can't. Nobody's gonna hear that constant.
It's like 25 ounces. How many?
Let's see how bad this audio is gonna go.
How much is a pound? 16 ounces? Or 12? How stupid I am.
Ghost. Okay, no, I still hear it. Do I sound worse? Same?
It's exactly the same to me.
My quality sounds the same. Seriously?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's insane. Okay, well, back to my mic. I think it's you. I have no idea. That's weird. I feel like a second I could hear your heater running, but
You might can.
well, I think when the buzzing stops on my end, I can hear it. But oh god, this is absolutely retarded.
All right, you still hear me good?
Not as good now.
Oh, are you shitting me? God damn it!
Not perfect. Now I can't hear you at all.
Oh, it just muted me again.
There it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sounds
weird.
good on my end. Perhaps it's me being so important. It's dictating I should do most of the talking.
Well, that's the flip side. The only time I hear the buzzing stops is when I start talking. So it's like makes me think there's some feedback loop on my end. But the only thing I changed was my mic setup. It's kind of mounted on a new arm that I bought, and it's mounted on my monitor mounts back here. So it's kind of incoming between my cameras right in the middle, my two monitors. But nothing should be like giving it a feedback like it's doing. And oh, that's just annoying as shit.
Wow.
I don't know. So here's a funny one. So I like guns, like I like knives. I mean,
Okay.
I've always had a bunch. What the hell? While walking in a SHOT Show one morning, I saw Boker knives.
Yeah, they're
real big.
but real nice.
Well, I don't know. I saw this thing. It's called the Micro Tracker.
Okay.
I'm gonna change the focus. There we go. The Micro Tracker. It kind of reminded me of that Tops Knives, the tracker knife. And after picking this thing up, this is $145. This little guy, so not bad, not bad at all.
I'm listening to you. I'm gonna show you mine. Well,
But in the end, I've always liked it's the Tom Brown thing, a Tom Brown tracker knife. Well, I finally decided to just get the stupid knife, and well, This thing is huge.
Wow.
I mean, there you go. Yeah,
Okay.
just thick,
My goodness.
massive. Yeah,
That's a good looking knife.
I like it. Did you ever see the movie The Hunted with Tommy Lee Jones, Benicio del Toro?
Didn't he have to make his own knife?
In the end, they did, yes, but like this style's like what they were like
Yeah.
we're using was this kind of thing. I mean, is it over the top? Probably. Do I know how to use it? Absolutely not. But am I going to just like? So yeah, that was something I was like recently acquired.
That's a damn hell of a knife. My pocket knife is somewhere. That'll be a topic for next time. So, can you hear
I mean,
me?
I've always got different knives everywhere. I still have your. I've got yours. I got to ship out here to you.
Oh yeah, yeah, man, that'll be cool. It's not a bad. I mean, it's not a bad little knife. They gave it to us at the Top Golf party.
I recognize the logo. It's like a little C.
Yeah, I don't remember who made it.
I think those guys. I think Tony Simon's been using all their knives. Yeah, they're solid little knives. I don't think they're terribly pricey either.
I try to. This guy that I knew, he's a friend of mine. He was the armorer at Barnes Precision, and his name was Cody. And he always said, "A knifeless man is a lifeless man." He's like,
I like that. I mean,
keep a knife on you. It ain't got to be crazy. It ain't got to be, Rambo. He said, but have a sharp knife on your person when you leave the house.
yeah, I've always got at least one on me, if not two sometimes. I mean, I don't know, all kinds of knives. I've got from fixed blade knives, folding knives to push daggers. Like for the longest time, I took a class, and this guy was talking about, if you have your pocket knife on your right-hand side or your primary side, do you have one on your non-dominant side? And it was like, no. And he's like, what if you can't get to that one? And he goes, then make that one that's not axed as often a fixed blade. So I had like a push dagger that was like had the loop and the hook, and I was like just quickly pulled through and was like, oh, like that's kind of cool. And I started carrying that kind of a lot, But the flip side is, if I'm carrying this, I usually have one pocket knife and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, here's a good topic, and this may be worth delving into deep at some point, but my everyday carry, Dave, it's going to consist of a handgun. It's going to be one of usually two Colt little Defender in 45 auto, or a Charter Arms revolver in 45 auto. One spare magazine, or if it's a revolver, a spare speed strip.
Right.
So I'll carry a gun and one reload.
Okay.
A knife.
Yeah.
A bright flashlight.
Yeah, I don't need to carry that.
I usually carry a flashlight, man. It's great for work.
Sure.
And cash. I tell people all the time, and my granddaddy taught me this. My granddaddy's like, always keep a couple $100 in American cash on your person.
On your person. See, if I have cash, I'm looking if I have $20 in cash on me. That's it.
I try to keep between, $100 and $200 in,
really?
Yeah, and 20s and 10s on my person all the time. And I don't get so into woods with, guys like, here's my pocket dump, here's my primary carry gun, 3
right.
spare mags, here's my secondary carry gun, 1 spare mag, here's my primary flashlight, backup flashlight, here's my 2 primary knives, my backup knife, I have this baton, I've got a first aid kit with an extra tourniquet, and I'm like, what the hell, man? Where do you live? Fallujah?
Yeah, there's some people. Well, I think a lot of that crap too, though, man. It's absolutely exacerbated by Instagram and tactical cool shit that you feel like you have to carry that shit all the time. Like, no, like I usually appendix rig, so 2 mags. I have carried an appendix rig with a flashlight on it a lot, but honestly, the difference of having a flashlight bezel built in here is pretty uncomfortable. So usually that's what I'll carry. Pistol, 2 extra mags.
Carry though.
What's that?
That's a big gun to carry.
It is, and I really keep looking at getting like a 365 or what's the new HK, because HK fanboy. They're smaller, like 365 size gun. Because this is an Echelon. That's a full size gun that I'll carry appendix, but I also just like it, and it's not that hard. It's not that big a deal. I carry it all the time. You never even know it. But yeah, always got a pocket knife.
Good to have a pocket knife.
Yeah, it'll change out for whether it's this thing or something else or whatever. And I got a bunch of them.
My father like buck 110 his whole life.
A buck 110.
Yeah, I carried that up until a couple years ago, and I love it. But that's a lot of knife to carry all the time.
Yeah, it'd be like carry this damn thing.
Right. So I went. Now I carry a buck, but I they've got some of these little small self openers, and that's what I like to carry. I don't give a shit for the pocket clip, but something small but sharp. And
carrying out the front Microtech a lot.
Microtech,
out the front, this little slider button thing. I like that a lot.
Belly pusher.
Belly pusher? Is that what
where you mash a button, it comes out the front.
Yeah, well, it's a lever. You push it forward.
Yeah, belly pusher, where you can hold against somebody's belly and.
Well, not with new ones. No, they have safety, so you'd prick them, but it would stop the blade. The safety.
Oh, it won't.
No, it won't like puncture. Not like the country old man using the cattle.
Oh, right.
Yeah, not like that. No. They're safe now.
I knew this guy, and he's passed on now, so it's okay. He had a fixed blade knife, and it was silver. Had a silver kind of a knurled handle on it, and I kid you not, and it was it was big like a Rambo knife.
But, again, like this damn thing.
Yeah, it was big. Yeah, and I kid you not, I'm not making this up. The summit had a button on it, and you mashed the button, and it would shoot. It had a spring in the handle.
Oh, it's a ballistic knife.
And is that what they're called?
Yeah, it shoots the blade out. Yeah.
And so he was like, he had an unfinished basement. And I was up there, and he was showing it to me. And, he was like maybe 3 foot from a 2x4. And he's like, yeah, check this out. And he pulls his knife out. And I'm like, damn, that's a nice knife. And he just kind of holds it out there and mashes a button. And the damn blade comes out the knife and goes into the 2x4, and like maybe an 1/8 of an inch of the point comes out the other side.
Oh shit!
And I was like,
"Damn,
oh God, dude!" He goes, "Yeah, that'll surprise you."
Buddy of mine, he found one, picked one up, and we're talking about like next time we get out the range, he wants to take it out and use it. And
are they legal or no?
I think it's very gray.
Okay, because he was like, I don't. Now this was 25 years ago.
Sure.
And he's like, I don't carry it. He's like, I got it at the house.
He just has it. Yeah.
Breaks in, and I pull the knife out there, and they're like, oh, I'm not worried about it. And he's like, this would go slam through somebody. And then he's like, he's 2x4, and then commences with a pair of channel locks to wrestle that blade out of the 2x4 and recock it.
Damn.
And it took he had to line it up and like put it against something and cock
click
that
it in.
My memory can be awful, but it was a bad son of a bitch, man. I was like, and this, and he's like, I think he paid like $200 or $300 for it, and this would have been like 1980 or 1990 money.
Right, that's a chunk of change.
Right.
Yeah, for a knife.
But it was beautiful. Ballistic.
I'll see the buddy's got. If it's like the same thing, because I know it'll shoot the blade out, and it probably, I don't know if his is like an American one or a Russian one or what, because I know the Russian like Spetsnaz, that was the thing they had, was a knife that would shoot the blade out like that.
But what is the actual purpose of that, you reckon? Just the last ditch?
Probably. I mean, like a bayonet. It's last ditch effort. Like you're in deep shit. At least you can pull this thing out. And
if you shoot the blade, then all you got left is a handle to throw at somebody.
Dude, I'm not saying it's the best last ditch effort. I'm just saying that's all it really is.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought, if something happened, you pulled it out, the guy's like, "Oh, I'm 8 feet away. I ain't worried about that guy's knife."
Right.
Like, shoot it between the running lights with your damn hunting knife. That's crazy.
That's the thing. I would think a spring-loaded blade like that, I wouldn't want to shoot it much more than 5-8 feet, something like that.
I don't know how. I mean, he was about 3 feet away from like a tube of six, but I don't know. I don't know how he'd group it 100 yards.
Non-existent.
Yeah, right. But I bet it'd fly. I bet it'd fly 8 or 10 feet.
Probably.
But it would
Scare the shit out of you.
If you walk, yeah. You see that coming at you. I'm like, I'm done. I give up. This guy's not.
I'm ducking for some cover here.
Y'all can have whatever he's selling. Oh man.
I try to mute myself before I hack up a lung there.
Well, don't die on me.
No. I'm good. But here's a question. I asked buddy John Patton because he came out and hung out the one day at GOS.
Okay.
And we walked around, looked at some people's stuff, and he does his TGC news, and he's going back to doing reviews and stuff. And so I was like, dude, how much do you actually shoot for yourself? And he's like, what do you mean? It's like, just the question says. So that's my question to you is, how much do you shoot for yourself? Like when you get reviews, you're doing reviews, but how often you go, you know what? I just haven't shot this thing in a while. I'm going to take this thing out. Let's go shoot it. How often do you shoot for yourself?
That's a good question, man.
Because John said very little for himself.
Not enough. But I will tell you this. So I make a concerted effort to take 2 to 3 classes a year.
That's good.
And that's way less than what I should be doing. But
you got me beat, man. I'm usually if I get one.
I do. Well, I'm lucky. We talked about Tracer Army Group, John Boyette, 82nd Airborne, Army vet, very skilled gunfighter. And so, I train with him a couple times a year. And, I've been to Louisiana. I trained at Range Ready. I've trained at Gunsight.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you what, not to plug Gunsight because they don't sponsor me, but if you've never been to Gunsight, you've never trained with those guys, it is the premier. I mean, premier.
Well, you and I were talking about we need to take our lever guns and go out there.
Yeah.
And do a thing with them.
I think that would be fantastic.
We should still need to make that happen.
I mean, I could call Ken and, we could have a lever gun day, get like Ruger and Henry involved. But here's the regimen that I have set out for myself that I try to follow closely. I try to at least, and this is piss poor, but this is not counting any shooting I'm doing. Because when I'm reviewing a handgun, Dave, I'm still trying to get some practice in.
Sure.
I'm still using side alignment, sight picture, trigger control, breath control. I'm still getting some chops out of it. But I try to shoot a 50-round box of 45 auto once a month with my carry gun. And that'll be done in an afternoon. I pick one afternoon a month. And, and sometimes it'll spill over to 100, 150 rounds. But I'll always, at the minimum, I'll take a 50-round box. And I buy it bulk from Defender Ammo.
Sure.
And, I'll buy 1,000 rounds of 45 auto from them. 230 ball. And, or whatever they got is cheap. And I'll try to shoot 50 rounds at least once a month through my carry gun.
I would say that's not bad, man. That's better than most people.
It's not bad,
It's not bad at all.
Now, John Boyette's class is usually 300 rounds,
right?
Give or take. So if you go take a pistol class with John, you're going to shoot 300 rounds.
Right.
And you go to Gunsight, I think they tell you to bring 1,000, 1,200 rounds.
Right.
I did a class down at Range Ready. It was a 2-day 1911 class down in Louisiana, about an hour north of New Orleans.
Okay.
Beautiful facility, really nice facility. I want to say we probably did 400 rounds in 2 days.
That's a lot of reloading single stack.
It is. And maybe more. It might have been 500 rounds in 2 days. But, like, the way they structured it was in the morning, you had classroom time.
Right.
And then you had range time after the morning. So it was 400 or 500 rounds there. So if I feel like for someone who is carrying a gun or owns a gun, I think it was Jeff Cooper that said having a gun or owning a gun makes you no more armed than owning a guitar makes you a musician.
Right.
And I probably butchered that quote. My apologies to Colonel Cooper. You get the
point.
gist.
Yeah, the point still stands. Yeah, just because you have it. Some people I know they're like that. Oh, well, I have a gun. I'm like,
it's not a magic.
Do you know how to use it? Are you comfortable using it? Like, knowing how to use it is one thing, but being comfortable pulling that trigger is a whole other thing. It's like,
it is, man, and it's a fine motor skill.
Yeah,
and it's a diminishing fine motor skill.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you can do 50 to 100 rounds a month and get a class or 2 a year, I think that will at least keep you from regressing.
Right.
I don't know you would gain much. I mean, you would for a while, but at some point you're going to hit a level of proficiency that you're really going to have to step your game up to get beyond that.
Sure.
But I feel like for the average armed citizen like us, if you can do 100 rounds a month, 50 to 100 rounds a month, and 2 classes a year, then you will at least maintain a level of proficiency that you will have the advantage over a neophyte.
Right. Yeah. No, I think you're shooting above average for most people, and the fact that you still are getting your own shooting in with doing the reviews, I think that's paramount.
And that helps a lot. Because I try to, depending on the ammo, if it's a 9mm pistol, we try to do 500. Now I don't shoot all 500 rounds.
Right.
But if we do, like when I did the Dan Weston DWX, and we're like, we're gonna put 500 rounds through this pistol,
that one's probably easy.
Oh God, man, that thing was like, I don't even like to shoot it, because when I shoot that pistol, I feel like a rock star. Then I'll go, pick up something else, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a slug. But
I did play with that a good bit at GOS a couple times. The DWX is pretty slick.
It's amazing. So we do a review with 500 rounds. 200 of those I will have shot.
Right.
And probably the rest, Chad, my mom, Candy, whomever, we like to have anywhere from 4 to 8 different people in the review aside from me.
Right.
So, but now also I'm very fortunate because I've got companies like Defender, Double Tap, Hornady. They send me a lot of test ammo.
Right.
And while I buy ammo from them as well, I might siphon off 50 rounds of test ammo and go out there and shoot it through my Dan Weston Specialist.
Sure.
But if I'm doing that, I'm doing a YouTube short or I'm doing something, but I'm also getting that training in.
That's cool. That's cool that you're still getting that in. Yeah, I mean, if you end up making your own personal shooting time still something you can record and use, whatever, fine, who cares? So what? Cool.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're still getting it in, the shooting in, I think that's most important.
But I'm fortunate enough to where I'm like, here again, I got a 30-yard pistol range on my front door.
Right.
So, I come home from work early or I get a day off and I'm like, let's go, and how long does it take to bang through 50 rounds if you're doing drills? 15 minutes?
Not long at all.
And what I'll try to do, and I'll try to stretch it out. I'll get a couple 3 mags and I'll load 4 rounds in it.
Night, buddy.
Night.
Night, buddy. Say hi, Hunter. Say hi, Hunter. Get out of here, then, you jerk. And now he's choking me.
And he's getting big. It ain't gonna be long, and he's gonna be driving.
Yeah. Soon you realize. Yeah.
Bless your heart. I didn't mean to go off on that diatribe. So, same question to you, Dave. I mean, how often do you get to shoot?
Well, that's the thing. I shoot for myself 90% of the time. I mean, only 10% is probably work-related stuff.
Right.
There's a high point thing here or there that needs to be shot. But when it's going good, timing weather lines up, I'm out, once a week at an hour drive joint, and I'm probably putting a couple hundred rounds down range between pistol and rifle each time. I mean, it's not uncommon to go through a couple hundred rounds a week, and if it's too much custom going on, I get out twice a month, but still do the same thing. And usually if I only get out, when I say twice a month, that's after work. So like I'll leave work at 4, drive an hour up the range, we'll hang out a couple hours, shooting a lot of drills, a lot of stages. And on top of that, if we only shoot twice a month, usually I end up finding a weekend, like a Saturday, Sunday that works, and get several more people into. And we'll go out first thing in the morning, and we'll be out there for a better part of the day.
And that's a good way.
Shooting a lot more too. I mean,
and you made up you had a really good point there. When you get the opportunity to go and hone your skill, don't just load up magazines and stand on a square range.
Oh God, no.
Do some drills, do some,
I'd rather dry fire than just stand on a range square and just shoot.
Because
I'd dry fire before that.
You're learning a little bit, sure. But, and like a lot of times what I'll do, I'll load 5 rounds in the magazine and I'll get out there and I'll just do my square range 5 rounds.
Right.
And then we'll load mags, 5 rounds in a mag. And then we'll do 3 or 4 draws and shoot.
Yep.
And then try to shoot a couple different drills.
Yep.
So even though it's 50 rounds, and I'll tell you who I learned this from. Do you remember Julie Golub?
Yeah.
She shot for Smith & Wesson.
Yeah.
She did a seminar about, and that's where I got the 50 rounds from. She did a seminar on how to train with 50 rounds. And she had a little take 5 rounds and warm up and take this and take that. And I'm sure it's still online somewhere.
I say it's still on YouTube somewhere. Yeah. I'm
sure it is. And I kind of took what she put forth and changed it up a little bit for me. And that's where I got the idea from. I'm sorry. My mother hurt her hand yesterday, and so I'm texting back and forth with her just to. She had to go to the. She cut her hand and had to go to the urgent care, and they gave her a oral antibiotic. But as of earlier today, the swelling had just now started going down, and so they were telling her if it doesn't significantly improve by tomorrow, she's got to go to the emergency room. So she's like, I'm worried because it's, we got snow and ice on the road and it's freezing tonight. So,
well, you'll be taking her, so
I'll take her in my damn dump truck.
That's what I mean.
But it's, it's getting better. She's 82, and so she don't bounce back like we do.
Yeah, we don't bounce like we used to either.
Well, no, I mean I learned. When Hank Williams talks about the hangovers hurt more than they used to, I remember.
That shit's real.
God, I hate to even. I remember when I was, but when I was in the Marine Corps, we could stay up until 04 drinking tequila, get up, and go run 3 miles. Now, mind you, we might be puking, but we could do it. If I drink too much bourbon, I don't even want to get them to go to the bathroom, much less going to go do any kind of PT.
No, it's just real, man. That shit really hits hard. Literally at 40, I think it's hard.
I noticed it at 46 for me. At 46, so I lift weights twice a week, and I'm not a bodybuilder, but being in the tree business, saws are heavy, so I want to stay at least, relatively strong.
Right.
And I noticed now that I'm 51, I don't make gains like I used to, or like right now I lift weights twice a week, and I count. And of course now I'm working, and I'm laboring, but I'm just kind of like right now where I'm at, I'm maintaining.
Yeah.
My bench is I can bench 305 now at 51, and that's probably all I'll ever do, which is fine.
Right.
But I've got some young bucks that we cut trees with, and they'll walk over and grab my old 066 saw, and it weighs, 16, 18 pounds. And, they pick it up and they're dragging they're dragging ass trying to bring it to me. Or I'm like, start it and use it. Oh, I can't pick that thing up. I'm like, my God, how, 23 years old. I'm like, man, I was 23 years old. I carried that so much of my, and I said, I remember when I was your age. I don't want to sound like that. I give him young as hell on the job.
Yeah. Well, you've run into a whole like newer younger generation. They are just weak as shit.
You have, brother. You
Just
have
weak as shit, and it's not just in physical strength, even in mental strength. You have a whole generation of people that are just weak as shit.
I'll show you this photo. This was an oak that I cut down, and then we dug it up. And on the, once we got all the heavy lifting done, we brought a couple younger guys to the job to I don't know if you can. You ain't gonna be this.
I can see you a little bit standing there with it.
And that's the. Here, hold on. There you go. That's the stump being held up by an excavator.
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty big stump.
So we
It's redwood shit.
But I'd cut them big ass trees down, and then they'd dig the stumps up, and whatever. And we brought some young kids in early. What am I missing?
I'm just being silly. I was pointing to my shotgun.
Oh, okay. I was like, "Is there somebody in my house I don't see?" And they'd work a little bit, and they'd be like, "Man, I'm tired," and go sit down. And I'm like, I'm old as hell, and I'm tired too. But damn, these kids are getting $22 an hour, unskilled labor, and I'm like, you boys got to bust ass more than this,
right.
Or you'll be over there by the chipper, on their phone, trying to find a feed table. And I'm like, it ain't gonna be long. And when that so much grabs you by the finger, all that chipper's got to do is get you by the fingertips. And I was like, there ain't gonna be enough left of you to carbon date.
Carbon date.
It's gonna be lasagna.
Oh,
so they don't pay.
Yeah, no, it's rough, man. It's nothing that, I don't know. It's something that we've done. I think we've allowed society thing to happen of just getting weak ass people in every facet, in every way, and I don't know, man. I think things are gonna get better, but it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be real rough.
Well,
I know so many guys like I've done new construction work for a while, and I actually liked new construction work, being on job sites, except in wintertime. Wintertime when you have to shit, new construction sucks.
Especially if you got what we call the Mexican space shuttle.
The what?
The Mexican space shuttle. The little plastic porta-johns.
Oh, yeah. Porta-johns in the winter are not fun. That sucks.
However, they are far worse if it's 100 degrees outside.
True. But no, I know so many guys that have never worked anything like new construction, and all I can think of is just like, God, I feel like every guy should go work new construction, right out of high school or college for a little bit, just to learn in general how other dudes in new construction are.
Right.
I mean, what's the phrase? Ain't nothing gayer than a straight Marine or something shit like that. Is that sound familiar?
I've heard something like that. Yeah.
But I know you're one of many Marines I know that say shit like that, and it's like it's no different than on construction job sites. There's nothing gayer than a bunch of straight dudes, pulling gay shit jokes on each other. And it's just normal, like you passing your time of your day, or just how like the level of mean or cruel we might sound because we're just passing time. And this new generation, they're just kind of like, God, it's because you're fucking mean.
Oh yeah,
no man, they're not mean. That's normal shit. That's normal shit, or even grunt shit for some people. Like, I never served, so I can't say it was grunt shit, but construction shit, it's what it was. It was like, it's fine. It's like, stop being so fucking delicate about shit.
The guy I cut trees with, Les, he's my climber. We've been working together since we started cutting trees together sometime in '98. Okay. And we're partners now. He's certified arborist. He's a couple years older than me. And we talk cash shit to each other. Yeah. I'm like, fuck you, you son of a bitch. If you fall out of that tree, I hope you die, because I'm gonna take your shit and pawn it.
Right.
And like if we got a new guy on the job, they're like, I couldn't imagine ever talking to another human being.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, what the fuck, man? You know, I mean, it's in, but you're right. It's in jest,
It's there's a weakness here with it too. You can't deal
right?
with it. I mean, I had a kid I worked with.
Shit helps pass the time.
Yeah, I had a kid I worked with. He came in one morning. Oh, damn it. All right. Kid I work with, I was at my desk, and he's walking in, and he goes, "Sup, Dave?" I looked at him, just the girl just smiling on it. "Sup?" And he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, was that too aggressive?" And I went, "Dude, you can get the fuck out of here with that bullshit."
Was he fucking with you?
No, he generally thought he was being too aggressive when he went, "Sup, Dave?"
Yes,
Like,
I was
did
so
I- did I-
weird.
Yeah, did I not reciprocate to you with the sly and cold looking "Sup?" Like, you saw offense in that? I'm like, oh, you just weak.
Where's my
ass
safe
nerd.
space? Yeah. Where's my safe space? Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't mute that cough. Oh god, that's funny.
Yeah, that's that whole. And here, you know, you've heard the saying, "Hard times make hard men make easy times make easy men."
Yes.
So I think that we're in the cycle of. God, I don't want to get into this. This would be also another good discussion, but people, I think, are fucking bored because America is a wonderful, beautiful first world country, and the conveniences we've got, like your cell phone, and you've got a lot of people that are unfulfilled because for what they went to college and they got a doctorate in liberal arts studies, and they're a barista down there at fucking Starbucks or what have you, jockeying a cash register somewhere. And so they're like, maybe if I was gay, I would be less bored. Or maybe if I identified as a trans testicle, then, they're bored in a first world country.
Yeah.
And they're trying to occupy their brain.
Yeah. And that's, you kind of threw my mind off another tangent in that same line of, there's too many people out there, I think, anymore that don't actually have any hobbies whatsoever. This is their hobby. Scrolling on this fucking thing is their hobby.
On Facebook and social media.
Like this isn't a hobby. I like knives, but my hobby is shooting. My hobby is watching movies, watching great shows, reading a book. I'm pretty lacking in that, but I have more than a few I'm reading. But also games, like the cabinets behind me. That's all full of movies and games. I have more than plenty of ways that I like to occupy my time.
But all that shit, Dave, whether you're watching a movie, playing a video game, or out shooting, your brain is working.
Absolutely.
You're problem solving. You're playing a video game, you're problem solving. You're watching a movie, you're trying to figure shit out. You're using your brain.
Yeah.
And it's you're mentally working out.
Not just doing this.
If you're some douchebag and you're fucking doom scrolling on Facebook and they're like, oh, everybody else has got it better than me. Because every time you see this, your buddy, he's posting, photos with him and some new hot chick. The part you don't see is he's got to pay that chick to post with him, and he's sitting in the house eating fucking bologna sandwiches, ain't got a TV. So for the people that look at Facebook and they look at people's lives and you think that's how they're living, that is a thinly veiled facade of the amount of positivity they can amass together for enough time to take a fucking photo. So
you're not wrong. That's I think there's again a lot of people are sorely lacking in hobbies.
And they just don't have nothing to do to occupy their brain or grow their brain. Candy, she reads and she draws. She does these Zentangles and she uses it as it's like a meditation. I get frustrated. I get upset. I get where I don't feel good. Man, I'll go out there and shoot 50 rounds of a 38 special through this little lever gun, and it's like my soul gets a bath.
Right.
I feel better.
A cleansing recharge.
It is, man. It centers me. It gives me a break from thinking about my problem because I'm focusing on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And shooting is therapy. Reloading is therapy because you're using your mind for something other than having to deal with a bullshit problem.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, it's funny. I think too. Like, I use that like my games in a certain way are a therapy. Not every game, because you can play certain things. Like, I'm not a big Call of Duty player, but if you get into some crazy multiplayer shit, you get stressed, you get pissed off. You know where that's going. No, what I go back to doing, dude, I go back and play the original Doom from '93.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I've logged. I was trying to think of this today because I know right now my kid and I've been playing Helldivers 2 a lot. I probably have 100 hours logged in the damn game. But we picked it up off and on throughout a year playing it. But still, since 1983, dude, I couldn't even begin to imagine how many hours I've spent playing the game because I can be just wore out, burn out from everything that's going on. Like, you know what? I'm going to sit down here, fire this thing up. I know it so well. It's just going to be fast-paced and fun. And I'll quit playing. And I'm like, all right, cool. Now what? I'm good. Oh, that was all right. Because I've played it for so many years.
Right.
I mean, it's just, yeah, people need fucking hobbies.
People need hobbies. People need something to do to occupy your mind. And of course, and I feel like, too, circling back to what you talked about earlier, a lot of, like, my work, a lot of people say it's mindless work. It's not. I mean, there's a lot of art and science to doing tree removal, but it's very fulfilling for me.
Right.
You know, I enjoy it. It's very fulfilling. But people who have jobs, God, I can't imagine, you know, some fucking poor, stupid bastard that they've got him on a 9% mortgage on a, $800,000 house that's not worth half that. And
Right.
he's driving a couple damn, Dodge Challengers that he's, upside down in at 7%. And he's going to, 8 days a week and sitting in a fucking cubicle and doing TPS reports. I mean, fuck, I'd walk out with my gun.
Yeah.
Can you imagine you get up every fucking morning.
Yeah.
And it's a carbon copy, same of yesterday and tomorrow.
Yeah. It's like, I know some people, it's funny. I know some people that are like, they're anti-factory work because they know it's the same thing every day in, day out. And I'm like, and you think that every desk job can't be the same thing day in, day out, the same damn thing? I'm like, better be careful what you wish for. Like, think twice what we jump into before you think it's going to be this adventure. Like, every job can be monotonous,
I couldn't have. I had a desk when I got in Marines. My father worked at a body shop, and so he got me a job working in the parts department of that body shop, and that was great for him because I got out of Marines on a Friday. I went to work on Monday morning.
Right.
And it wasn't what I wanted to do. But, Ronnie was like, hey, look, I've got you this job. It's yours as long as you can hold it or until you can find something else you wanted to do. However, when I got to work Monday, the general manager showed up and he goes, here's your desk. Here's your phone. Here's your computer.
Sit there.
Sit here. And, like, my job was to when a car came in and was wrecked, the body man wrote up a list of parts it needs. And he would bring me that list.
Right.
And my job was to order those parts, and when they came in on a truck, check them in and put them in a shelf. And then when he was ready for them, me or this other poor dumb son of a bitch would bring them to him. And I did that for about 6 days. And I'm like,
I'm not doing this.
I had to wear a collared fucking shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Phone would ring. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. Some asshole woman would come in there and be yelling and screaming. Yes, ma'am. No, and I want to be like, who the fuck? But
right.
And I remember I'd been doing it for not long, Dave, not long. And I went and I was having a ham sandwich. My grandmama Hunter made the best damn toasted ham and cheese sandwiches in the universe. And I would go over there and spend time with them. And grandmama was making me 2 of them because I could eat 2 of them. And my granddaddy was like, son, what are you going to do with your life?
Not this shit.
And I was like, granddaddy, Ronnie got me that job at the body shop working in the parts department. He's like, do you like that? I'm like, my God, no. It is miserable. Collared shirt. I mean, a time clock. I want to go to lunch. I got to punch a clock,
Yeah.
you know, and then I better not punch out. It better be an hour or less,
Yeah.
or I'm getting yelled at.
Yeah.
And so my granddad is like, "There's, you know, you should go," because now he cut timber and sawmill his whole life, and he was the one that said, "You should do this. You should try it out." And I know we're running long, but I'll make this story quick. I was sitting at the table and eating a sandwich, and my granddaddy said, "I want you tomorrow or Friday or Saturday, go to the saw shop and get a list of everything you need." Now, I had a pickup truck at the time, which,
Right.
you know, a chainsaw and a pickup truck don't make you a tree man. However, you know,
It's a good start.
I had a pickup truck that could pull a piece of equipment. And so granddad is like, get a list of all you need. Couple saws, three saws, gas can, oils, wedges, hammers, you know, everything you need. And I went there and, you know, the guy laid it all out. And it was like $3,000, $4,000 worth of stuff. And we're talking 1996 money.
Right.
The next day I went to granddaddy's house and I said, "Hey, I went to Clay's Guard Supply. They're a steel dealer." And I'm like, "Here's what he wrote up." My granddaddy looked at it, reached in his pocket, I shit you not, rolled off $4,000 in $100 bills and said, "Here you go, son. Go tomorrow and buy everything. Put it in the back of the truck and bring it here." And I did. Like, I went that Saturday and I bought all that stuff, and we went to some of his property. And granddaddy kind of gave me what I'm gonna call the crash course in how to cut a tree down. You know, at this point, he's still in his early 80s, but you know, he's showing me how to cut a face cut, how to do a Humboldt, where to hold the hinge. He's like, "I'm gonna teach you enough to where you can get a job at a tree service."
Right.
And they'll teach you everything else. And sure as the world, man, I got a job with a tree service, and I was working and making money. I bought a little chipper, and I had my truck. I had a little chipper, and then I had a partner with this guy, Les, and you know, he had a little stump grinder. And then Fran came through, awful hurricane through North Carolina. This was January of '96 is when I started cutting trees. Now, I did it part-time while I was still at the body shop for, 2 or 3 months. Anyway, Fran come through in like October. And I hate to say it, but we made a fucking pile of money. But I was sitting pretty, man. I had 3 or 4 chainsaws in my truck, gas, bar oil, you know, felon wedges, everything I needed to work. You know, I had some climbing gear, some ropes, all that shit was in the back of my truck with a chipper. And the way Raleigh made it was, they like, if you could cut it up and get it to the road, the city would take care of it. So we rented a little skid steer and made a pile of money.
Damn.
You know, anyway, I didn't mean to talk your ears off.
No, you're cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, they will. We're running about an hour and a half here, so I think we will kind of wrap it up. So I guess the big thing is, where can people find you and follow you and your shit?
Superstud.net is where you would find me. You know, closing in.
So look it up right now. Superstud.net.
Superstud. Hey, brace yourself. You're gonna see some pretty crazy shit. No.
Nope.
Oh, I didn't renew the domain. Well, I'll do that immediately next.
Nice.
Rangehot.com, you know, is my website, and we do Range Hot on YouTube as well, where we do all our gun and gear reviews. And then the guy that I got helping me, he started a Range Hot Facebook page, which is I already talked about how they deleted all that shit when I had, you know.
Are you on Facebook? Range Hot?
There's a new Range. Now, I don't know what's on it because I don't have anything to do with it. This guy Justin's managing that now.
Okay.
But he just started, so there's probably very little content on it. But it's something. So Range Hot if you're interested.
I said that's me as well for a lot of this stuff. Live Fire Media, it's Instagram, it's on X, it's Facebook. Obviously, then me, you can see I use the Qualcomm 47s for my Instagram. So a lot of times I post on the same shit in both spots because I just don't care right now. It doesn't matter. But yeah, no, I think this was cool, and
I always enjoy our time together, man. I certainly appreciate it.
And I'll play with around too and see if we can get set up doing a live stream through Rumble. And
Okay.
We'll push that. You know, if we can get it figured out. Just because I take like 10 minutes before we hop on to mess with this shit, all of this, so it's like don't really know what the hell we're doing still. But yeah, I'll see if we can get the Rumble thing figured out and go live on Rumble next week, and then we'll still record on StreamYards with this.
Awesome.
And yeah, so
All
until
right.
next time, man.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm sure we'll talk again soon, but I look forward to seeing you in about a week.
I'm sure we will.
All
All right,
right.
everybody.
I
Later.
thoroughly enjoyed it.